It is a ACC battle. We've got the Florida State Seminoles taking on the Miami Hurricanes. A very interesting game here between these two teams. Florida State, definitely a team that has had some issues this season. Miami, we know a very, very good defense. Obviously made a quarterback change recently, so interesting to see how that pans out here in this football game between these two. Fascinating one to take in and see how it plays out this week. Miami, we know, very good defensively, Al. No question about that. Florida State certainly has had their issues. The Willie Taggart transition has been rough, I guess you could say, to say the least. We've not seen this offense really progress whatsoever so far. I mean, DeAndre Francois was expected to be a big part of the success with Cam Akers, a decent running back here, but things just haven't fit so far for Florida State on the offensive side of the football. And you got to wonder, expectations year after year, Al, they're very, very high when it comes to Florida State football. And you're going to have to wonder if the natives are already starting to get restless here in terms of the beginning of this Willie Taggart era. The question is, are you ready to lay 13.5, 14 with Miami? This is still an offense in transition. They absolutely destroyed North Carolina last week, an impressive, dominating blowout win against the Tar Heels. I think N'Kosi Perry is an upgrade at the quarterback spot from Malik Rozier. I mean, it's obviously going to take Perry time to get more comfortable in this offense under Mark Richt now that he's the quarterback for the Canes. But I think it's still a positive move going with him instead at quarterback. Or do you view this as a buy low situation here with Florida State? They've had a tough first month of the season. Now they're catching 14 in a big-time in-state rivalry game. You would think both teams are fired up for a game of this magnitude, Seminoles and Hurricanes. Big Al, what are you looking at here in this game from a side perspective, FSU and the U?
Well, I'm going to try to build a case for the Miami Hurricanes. Ian, they've lost just once this season. That was their opening game on a neutral field versus LSU. Miami was actually favored by 3 points in that game, and they lost by 16. So at the time, it seemed like a relatively poor performance. But all Louisiana State has done since is moved to 5-0 on the season, including a huge win at Auburn as a double-digit underdog. So I think Miami actually is a tad bit underrated, as they're currently ranked number 17 in the country. Meanwhile, Florida State is 3-2. But the Seminoles have failed to cover the point spread by an average of 13.8 points per game. And I think this is also a tough situational spot for Florida State. They're playing their second straight week on the road, while Miami was able to get a few extra days to rest and prepare for this game because they didn't play since last Thursday compared to Florida State having to play on the Saturday. So that's a small advantage for Miami, Florida. And then for technical support, consider that the Seminoles are now 0-9 ATS with 2 pushes their last 11 ACC conference games, while Miami is 25-8 ATS after winning their previous game by 17 or more points, including a perfect 12-0 ATS when priced from -4 to -18 points. I'm all over the Hurricanes.
Yeah, it is hard to argue with that. I mean, this Miami team, I think, is now more explosive, a little more potent now with the new quarterback, Perry, taking over this offense. And again, with Florida State, it's been their offense has been anything but impressive so far in the early season. And they're going to have to put up points. Now they're going to have to do it against one of the better defenses they've played so far this season, this Miami team, which can, the turnover chain, the whole bit. They're very aggressive. They rip the ball out from running backs, from wide receivers going down the field. That's just the way they play. They hang their hat on turning you over. And boy, we've seen Florida State have issues with turnovers on offense this season as well. That's another factor that could be going in Miami's favor. So Al is laying the points here, laying the 13.5 with Florida State, and expecting the Seminoles' early season woes to continue on Saturday.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.